Okay, we're here with Gonzaga head coach Lisa Fortier. Student athletes are Kaylee Trong and Melody Kempton. Go ahead and start with an opening comment from Coach.
Just really happy for our team, proud of our team. We've had the same game plan actually until today. It was so much the same game plan that before the game today, I looked at my assistant coaches and said, "Are we changing anything?" And they said, "No, we just have to do it much better," which always makes you a little bit nervous. But our team stuck to the plan today. I think we executed as well as we have, obviously, in the first 2 times we played BYU this year. And I'm just most proud of our team. I don't know what happened, but they cut it to 5, and we did something right. We either got a stop, made a basket. I'm not sure which it was. I can't remember now. I have no idea who it was, but that's just very telling of this team. They don't know either, probably, because they just focus on the we. They focus on the we. Certainly, these two here focus on the we as much as they possibly can. And so I'm just really proud for our team. And on the TV, they asked us, well, who has to have a great game for you in order to succeed today? And the answer was, we need 3 or 4 people to have a pretty good game because that's how we roll. We play together, and any number of people can step up and be one of those 3 or 4 people. And today it was certain 3 or 4, and it could be a totally different crew the next time. But I'm just really happy for our players. You guys did a really good job, and hopefully they're proud of themselves too.
Okay, we'll take questions from within the room. We will limit it to a single question on the first time through, so we can make sure to try to get it to everybody.
For anyone?
Oh, for the student athletes only. Thank you.
Yes, for each of you, especially Melody, senior. I was in Provo a few weeks ago, and that was pretty tough. So how much did this mean to you going into the game? What was the emotion coming in?
Yeah, coming in, obviously, we were just trying to stay calm. You need to stay calm, collected. We had a game plan, and we knew that that's what we needed to do in order to get it done. So we just focused on that. We knew we could win. It wasn't like we came in scared or worried. We knew we could win coming in here. So we just stayed calm, focused on the game plan, and really threw the first punch, I think. And I think you could see that in the game.
Yeah, like Mel said, going into the first 2 games, we had a game plan. And like Coach Lisa said, it's the same game plan. The difference was the past 2 games, we strayed away from it. Obviously, the second game was tough, too. And there wasn't really any fight in the team, but this time around, we stuck to the same game plan as always and just completed it.
Yeah.
For Melody, you've grown so much, and now you're sort of getting to be the leader. And I know Coach said it's all about we. But how much for you how much are you enjoying this and just the feeling of putting that necklace that you're wearing on now, just getting it to be your necklace and it's your turn after spending so much time behind Jen and all of the people that have come before you?
Yeah, it means everything. I mean, I said this earlier, but I think sometimes my teammates have more confidence in me than I do. They are always having my back. They always tell me, like, you should shoot that shot, you should do this, you should make that move, you should go on one, you got it. And to be able to come out and do this for my team, everything is for them, and so to be able to do that for my team really just meant everything for me.
And Mel, just what does it mean for you to win the most valuable player of the tournament?
Yeah, it's everything. It's all my hard work that I feel like I've put in year after year after year, and just to see it pay off and to get that recognition. I mean, I'm not trying to get it. No one I feel like on our team is trying to get recognized, but it feels great when you know how much work you put in and you know that you're giving your heart and soul to the game. To get that back, it just feels really amazing.
Melody, I think I saw you go up in the stands into a whole batch of 33s up there.
Yeah.
And was that your parents you brought down to the court? And was that hard to do? And is that something could be a trend or something like that?
Oh, yeah. So that was my parents. My grandparents are up there. My fiance, his family's up there. I've got friends and family that are up there, and all of them have the jersey. They've all gone out to the Zag shop and bought the jersey, so they're all in it. And, yeah, it was just amazing. I also said this earlier, but I've put in so much work, but so has my family, to drive me to AAU games. They come to every single game. They're always there supporting me. So to be able to bring them down on the court and share that moment with them meant a lot to me, but I know it meant so much to them too, just to have that moment, to see me and to have that joy with me, I think really was just amazing for them too.
Okay, anybody else within the room? Okay, we'll go over to Zoom. If you have a question on Zoom for the student athletes, please raise your hand. We'll go ahead and start with Jeff Ferrato. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Kaylee, congratulations. Early in the fourth quarter, they got it within 3, and then you guys went on like a 15-6 run, and your coach said she couldn't remember who made the play, but I believe it was your sister hit a 3, and then hit another one, and then you hit one, and then Melody made a couple baskets. Can you talk about that stretch and how, when it appeared that they were just about to mount a big comeback, you guys delivered?
Yeah, I think we did an absolutely great job as a team. What Coach Lisa said was probably on point for me, at least. In my head, I was just focused so much on defense. Whatever I'm doing, I'm going to contribute by getting the ball like to the open player. But anytime the basket went in, I went straight like, all right, let's lock up on defense. Like, this is what we need, a defense and a board, defense and a board. That was just what I was telling myself the whole time, but super proud of them executing like Mel. I telling her, don't hesitate. If they leave you, that's what you've been working on. So super proud of the team coming together. It was just also the little things. Abby was super tough. She's so long, and on defense, it's hard. Paisley's a great player, but you know, having a hand in your face the whole game, it kind of wears you down a little. So it's all the little things that were happening in that little stretch that just kind of started to build momentum.
And if I can ask a quick follow, your emotions when your sister hit those shots?
Super happy. I'm always happy. I've said this so many times. She's my best friend on the court. So whenever she succeeds, that brings so much joy to me. And she's worked so hard this year. And you know, always, I say this too. She's a bit of a perfectionist. Sometimes it can be her downfall, but also it like motivates me to be the best, to be up there with her. So just always smiling when she does something great.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the room or on Zoom with the final question?
Can both of you talk about just how much easier this upcoming Sunday will be, knowing you don't have to stress about we're on the bubble, maybe we get in, maybe we don't, that you've locked in your spot and you can just enjoy watching the show?
Yeah, I'll go first. Like Lisa said, we have kind of seen what was going on, but us as a team have tried to not watch it because it's not helpful to see, oh, what if this, what if that. We just need to focus on the games that we're at. But now having this win, knowing for sure we're in, and beating, what were they, a 14 seed before this?
Ranked.
14 ranked, yeah.
Something like
14
that.
ranked team. That looks really good for us, and to know we're in and we'll definitely get a higher seed than we would have if we lost just feels amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Coming in, I think we got together as a team and said, you know, let's not put this, our fate isn't in somebody else's hands. Like, let's just take care of business. Let's control what we can control. And now we punched our ticket.
Yeah,
so
we're dancing.
Now we're dancing.
Okay, Jeff Ferrato on Zoom. I see your hand up. Do you still have another question?
I did. If the two of you can just talk about what you guys did defensively, and if you played a lot better defensively than the first 2 games, or if you did anything differently, because they just really had a hard time getting their offense on track.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I can go. So obviously they have Shailene Paisley, top 2 scorers, great players. They're hard to stop. There's no such thing as shutting them down, only limiting them. And that was our focus, getting somebody else to step up and try to fill their spot, essentially. So it was good where we can get them to get the ball out their hands, and a lot of focusing on let's make somebody else step up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with Lee. We were trying to get somebody else on their team to step up, and then also just flying around. I don't think there was a moment on defense where we were standing and watching or seeing what was going to happen next. If someone got beat, someone else was there, and that person that got beat was now flying to a new person. And I think that's just really hard to play offense against that. Like, even if you do get ahead of someone, even if you do make the right pass, having someone, again, flying in there, flying into the person that would have been open next time, it's hard to play offense against that. So I think just our movement and our defense and being able to rotate and scramble around really helped us.
Thank you.
Okay, any last questions for the student athletes? Okay, you two are good to go.
Good job,
Congrats.
guys.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Lise. Thanks, guys.
And we'll follow the same format for Coach. Go ahead and if you've got a question, you're in the room, please raise your hand. We'll get the mic to you.
Well, I was in Provo too, and this
Felt different, huh?
it felt a little different.
Yeah.
I know that was tough. How much did this one mean? I gather it meant quite a bit.
Yeah. I think they all mean a lot. This particular game, this Tuesday game, means a lot to our team. I can't remember anything anymore, but I think that I don't know if we've been in this situation where we had lost 2 to BYU and gotten here and won this one. We haven't been in that situation very often, but it means a lot. When you play your rival, doesn't matter if it's in March or in January or February, it's a big deal. And we really wanted to. They said all the things that we talked about. We really wanted to stay in control. We at the last week of conference, we lost control of our own destiny. After that loss in Provo, we weren't in charge. We had to have somebody had to beat BYU in order for us to share the regular season. But we were really focused on that we were still in control of our own destiny here, and we wanted to capitalize on that. So it means a lot. Just the way our team played is what means the most, is that the things that you preach over and over and over again since before they come to Gonzaga. We talk about team. If you're not going to be a team player, then it's probably not going to be a great place for you. If you're looking to be an all-star just on your own rights without your teammates, then there's better fits than GU is. And I think we have a lot of players, all the players on our team, who it's a good fit because they're unselfish and they want to play together and win championships as a team. So I think that's the part that means the most.
Coach, ever since that loss to BYU in Provo, you've played really, really well and beaten 2 of the best teams in the conference here in the tournament. Do you feel like now, going into March, the Madness, the team's playing their best basketball since that loss?
I certainly think we played our best that we've played so far today, which is always the goal, right? Your next game is supposed to be your best game. And, I don't know, maybe that was a low. It's been a long time since we've had a game like that. I don't know if I've been a head coach since we've had a game like that. Maybe a while ago. And where we didn't have it going offensively, we didn't have it going defensively, and really that we didn't compete. And that was our biggest issue in Provo, is we didn't compete for 40 minutes. We got down on ourselves and looked out of character. And so I think since then we've certainly been playing better. We've been playing a little bit more up-tempo, and we've been having fun, and that's when our team does a really good job. It happened to be that Lita Lynn, and yesterday it was vice versa or whatever. But really, it's just as great a feeling when it's Abby DeSierra or Mel Devani or whoever it is. That's when our team is at our best. So I think that the last 4 or 5 games we've been much more in character, and I don't know what it has. I think they've found something within themselves. We've tried to pull it out of them. We've tried to push it into them. And I think really ultimately they have to find it, and they certainly have, and hopefully that will carry us through our next few games as well.
Coach, you've talked about it a little bit here, and your players talk about it, but your whole program, I've watched you guys 2-3 years now, it's all about we. It's not about individual people. You never seem to have the leading scorer in the conference. You're just a really balanced team. What about your program and this team specifically this year makes you be about we and allows you to be successful with a whole bunch of people instead of just 1 or 2 stars?
Well, you have to be talented enough to where you have people who can contribute, right? If you only have one good player, then they've got to make all the points, right? So it's partially that. We're certainly talented enough. I've been chastised throughout the year for my starting lineup because some people think it should be a little bit different. Bringing Vonnie and Lynn off the floor I think is a testament to our depth. We got KK coming in as well. Eliza sometimes makes more shots than anyone else. So the depth allows us to do that. But I think the leadership is a real big part of that. Anna, Mel, Sierra, Abby, and Kylie's sick, so she's home. But all of their stories have been about servant leadership and doing whatever the team needs. They've never been the person who was trying to gain all of the accolades and make all the baskets. They've sacrificed mightily in different ways. It's a really interesting group of seniors with just their stories. They're very different. And I think that it comes from the leadership and the way that they show up every day, willing to do whatever for our team, trying to figure out how to have our team be successful.
Lisa, earlier this season in the kennel, kind of a similar first half. You guys had a lead over BYU, and then the second half, that all changed. Today, that seemed like BYU was starting to get a run going in the second half, but the team responded. From your perspective, what was the difference today?
Well, we did talk about that at halftime, believe it or not. And at home, I think we were at 15, and here it was only 7 or 8 or something like that. And what they did that was a big difference maker was they rebounded the heck out of the ball. We're a really good rebounding team. They're a good rebounding team with really good individual rebounders as well. And multiple timeouts, I came to the timeout and said, you guys, if we rebound the ball and get to the stops, then we're going to win the game. We have to rebound the ball. And there for a while, I think they had 7 second half, like right off the bat, pretty quickly. We took, some of it was our perimeter players, or our post players were shooting away from the basket, so they weren't able to get offensive rebounds. And then defensively, they were just really attacking the glass. So I think that was a big difference. We put our foot down and started to rebound ourselves. And that, I think, put the stop to what was happening with, because they certainly had the momentum there for a while in the third.
Their coach and both of their players talked a lot about your defense and just really very ferocious, very aggressive, and just very effective.
Mm-hmm.
So was there a different game plan defensively?
Honestly, not really. We emphasized it more, but the BYU is so tough defensively that you have to guard them. I think that in order to stop them, you're not going to be able to score enough points usually because they're really a good defensive team. I don't know what they think of themselves. They're talented, but they just guard. And so for us, it was we're a good offensive team, but the 28-point quarter is not. I don't know if BYU has any of those that they've given up on the year because they're so good defensively. So I think just executed it better. The players were on point. We wanted to make other people make the plays. Their top 2 scorers score almost 20, and then there's a bit of a drop off. And so we wanted to see if we could just give extra help on Shaylee and Paisley. And I know they still scored points and they still got a lot of shots up. So that was actually the game plan. I think we just executed it enough. And none of the shots were easies. We didn't forget about those guys out there sometimes or leave any of our teammates on an island. So again, that team effort on the defense.
Lisa, you talked about some of these interesting journeys. I mean, Abby was an 1,100-point scorer at Loyola. What was she looking for after that, and what did you kind of sell her on? What were you looking for with her that this became a match?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Abby is that she was looking for a different experience. She got to score all the ball or shoot all the balls and play all the minutes. She was a starter. Her role for us has been a defender. She's guarded every best offensive player that we've played who's been a guard. And sometimes she's made big shots, but she's been a rebounder. And defending and rebounding are, not necessarily things that draw a lot of attention. And I think that what she wanted was the overall experience, the atmosphere that we have at Gonzaga, the family environment that we have at Gonzaga, and just the support that she received from every aspect of the program, from the coaching staff. I know that they do a good job, from the teammates, from the university, from the department. And I don't know exactly what it was like at Loyola, but she just needed something different, and we were a great fit for her in that regard.
Lisa, did beating BYU today mean more than maybe if it would have been a San Francisco or another team in the conference because of the fact that, that chip on your shoulder you played with all year? They were picked preseason favorites, and they'd already beaten you twice this season. Because it was BYU today, do you think it meant more to you and the team than maybe some of the other teams in the conference if it would have been?
Maybe. We try not to. Gonzaga, I know, is the original Cinderella, right? We're the original team that's supposed to play with a chip on our shoulder until you ascend past that, and you're not the underdog anymore, and you're the team that everyone's gunning for. And so I would say the part that made it special to be against BYU is that, we don't show up to a game and hope that someone's out and we get to play them not at full strength. We want to show up to the game and play the best team with their best players and see if we can be better that day. I think that's what competitors want. And so I think that's the part of it being BYU. There's a lot of really good teams in our conference, and I wasn't sure if we could get past San Francisco. Honestly, they're really good. And I didn't know if BYU was going to get past Portland, to be honest with you, or before that, all those games, because the teams in our conference have really played well against each other and shown different strengths and talents. But at the end of the day, they won the conference, and you want to show up and beat the best. And this year, that was them. Just based on the record and everything else.
Any other questions from within the room? Okay, we'll go to Lindsay Schnell on Zoom. Go ahead, Lindsay.
Haley, you said it perfectly right there that Gonzaga was the original Cinderella on both, the men's and the women's side. On the men's side, there's been so much, not just parity, but a much bigger respect for mid-major conferences in general. How do we get to that point on the women's side? Do you think upsetting BYU, who we know is really good, does that help?
I think it might help, Lindsay. I think that the important part is that we have to continually play a tough schedule. You have to beat the teams that are out of our conference, and you have to continue to be, a quality team that's out there. BYU is recognized because of their quality team. They've played tough teams and overcome them. We have played tough teams. Some of them we've overcome. This year we didn't get as many of those top wins outside of the conference, but I think that that's kind of the model that we're looking towards. I know our guys have done that. Now St. Mary's and San Francisco and BYU on the men's side, and all of those teams have Santa Clara. They're trying to do the same thing where you have to play other opponents that are respected, and you have to show that we're as good as them. And so I think that a lot of that is the schedule. We're challenged every year to schedule good teams out of conference, out of conferences that people are already have respect for, a little bit higher than ours. But to be honest with you, our conference should be respected. So we have good teams, we have good coaches, and year after year, we prove that. I think sometimes people put too much in that, well, they lost to so-and-so in the conference. It's conference. Every conference is hard. It doesn't matter if it's the worst conference in the world. They know everything about you, and they're coming for you. So I just think that the non-conference scheduling can help us. Sorry, I got on a little soapbox.
Okay, Lindsay, are you good, or you have a follow-up?
Oh, I have another question. I was curious, Lisa, what seed do you think you will be in the tournament, and what do you deserve? Are those the same things?
Oh gosh, I'm going to sound silly right now probably, but I have no idea. I don't think we're going to end up playing in the play-in game, which I was worried we were going to do initially. I can tell you that I have looked 0 times at bracketology. Actually, 0 times. I'm sure my assistants and coach and everyone else has, but I was just kind of focused on coaching our team the best we could, and so I don't know. Hopefully, we'll get something that we're deserving of, and hopefully, we'll get a great draw and get going.
Any final questions from anybody for Coach? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Recording stop.
Hi. Thank you very much.